What is going on, Comic Book Familia? It's been a while since I've said that. We are back with our first show, I believe, of the year for monthly advance orders, right, Peter?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know this man next to me, then shame on you. He's Triple G Comics. I couldn't do this show without you. I wouldn't do this show without you. So,
Same to you, but this is one of the shows that I enjoy doing the most, to be honest,
yeah.
because it always seems to kind of unearth things that I've not seen coming up. So it's nice to spot new comics that are coming out.
And this is our longest running show, I believe. We've been doing this. I know I've for sure been doing this, as you know, with somebody else joining me than any of my other shows, by far,
Yeah,
the
we've
one I
been
have the
doing it a
most
good
fun
while.
with.
Yeah.
So let's see if we have any comments, and I don't think we do. So we're just going to jump right into it. But let's see. We have StreamYard, and that's our only comment so far.
Nice to see you, StreamYard.
Oh,
and
I take it back. Fuzzy. Fuzzy didn't show up. I'd be freaking out. I go, Peter, do you have his number? Can you call him, please?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with Fuzzy's not here. Yeah.
Captain America and Captain Britain in his bright red shirt again. Yeah, nice shirt.
It is a bit red, isn't it? It's making me head look red as well. I think. I don't know what the hell's going on, but yeah.
So this is the first time on this channel, my channel, for our show. We are going to be picking monthly advance orders, and these are books that you can order right now and coming out in March.
Yeah.
Right? All right, let's get going. Oops, somebody else jumped in really quick. I want to get these. Oh, Deadman, thanks for showing up.
Hi, bud. Hope you're well.
And are you ready?
Yeah,
So like I said, these books are coming out in March of 2024, and you are up first. Oops, shut up and take my money. Forgot about this.
That's me. Are you saying that looks like me?
Yeah, that's you, Peter.
I've lost a bit of weight.
You got red hair and you got the red jacket, so yeah, it's you, Peter. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, you are up first.
Yeah, so this is looking pretty cool to me. Marvel obviously got the license for Predator comics and Alien comics a good while ago now, maybe it's a year or two ago, and they've had some various series out. The only one I've dipped my toe in was the Predator versus Wolverine, which is actually quite good. I'm quite enjoying that.
Yep, I've been reading that.
But I've not really read any of their Alien stuff. But then I spotted this. So this is Aliens, but under the What If banner. And it's picking up directly after Aliens. And it's asking the question, what if Burke survived? Burke, you'll remember, was the slimy, Weasley kind of corporate man that wanted to steal the embryos, the eggs. He tried to, I think in the movie, didn't he try and get one of the face huggers? He locked them in the room with the face hugger to try and get them to get impregnated. So this picks up after that, asks the question, what if he'd survived? So I'm imagining it's going to be about them bringing the aliens back. So I like What If. I like the fact that it's continuing the movie's kind of narrative. So I'll probably pick this one up just to see what it's like. Also, stunning cover. I'm loving these Aliens covers. Fuzzy saying in the comments there, Efren, the 20th century box badges and borders annoy the hell out of him. Absolutely agree, mate. I think it spoils the look of the cover.
Yeah.
But it's the colour, everything, it just makes it look rubbish, Yeah.
Yeah. We got one more comment here from Sean Hogan, even though, and have to catch the rewind. Thank you very much, though, for showing up. I love this cover, and I love this series, What If, the original What If also. And I just think, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to read it, and I do love the cover, and I never thought about that 20th Century Fox until Fuzzy mentioned it to me. Now I'm going to be focusing on that throughout the whole show, thinking about that.
Can't not see it now.
Yeah.
The only thing that irritates us is this has pinched my idea for my What If show. So remember I used to do a What If live show. We talked a little while ago about doing continuations of movie franchises, and this was one of the top of the list ones. So they've pinched our idea, and they've obviously seen us talking about it, I would imagine.
I believe Paul Reiser, the actor, is going to have some influence on this book, and his son. I think they mentioned that somewhere.
Very cool.
Maybe, I am up next, and I'm picking these books. These are cover buys for me because this is like the 10th anniversary, I believe, of Star Wars Rebels. So they're adding them to some of the Star Wars covers, and I just like this cover a lot. I am reading Darth Vader, though. This is Rise of the Mar Corps. Darth Vader is picking up the pieces after the Scourge wreaked havoc, but could a rebel squad of cyborgs bring chaos to the Dark Lord of Order? Who are Vader's new troopers?
So is the Scourge, sorry, is that the Oh, I started reading it a while ago about the droids all becoming
I think
possessed and
so.
things like that.
I think this was the droids when they took over. I haven't finished reading that yet, but
No,
I
neither
believe,
have I. I've kind of
yeah,
dropped off that, to be honest.
yeah,
I was quite enjoying the first couple of issues, but I've not
yeah,
read any of that for a while.
yeah. But these are obviously characters from Star Wars Rebels, which is one of my favorite series on Star Wars,
Yeah,
animation. So that's why I picked this cover. I just like it, So
yeah. Still never watched that. I'll have to get back to that at some
kind of
point.
coming from Fuzzy again. Does it need the border?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do like virgin covers, not too much
Yeah,
writing on them, but they try to put too much into covers sometimes. It ruins it almost.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But all right, you are up next, sir.
Oh, now speaking of covers, look at that! Look at that! If you're a Thor man, this is a cover by for me. It just looks amazing. But, and I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. This is Avengers Twilight. I am really enjoying this. I don't know if you've read it yet, Efren,
I've
but
read the
like I
first
say,
issue.
yeah, I'm
Yes,
going to talk about it a little bit later on when I
yes,
do a book review. It's really intriguing. So this for me is a book that has got kind of Dark Knight vibes. It's got Kingdom Come vibes. So
yeah,
yeah, I will definitely be picking this up, and I just think that's a great looking cover. Really,
yeah.
really like it.
Speaking of Thor, if you or anybody in the who's checking out the show right now, Thor lost his arm. I remember he had the
Yeah, yeah.
casing. Do you know how he got it back? I just don't. I don't remember how he got it back. His arm, because it's not encased anymore. So and it
Well,
just happened about a year ago, and I don't know.
does
I
it
don't remember reading that how he got it back. I was curious.
even longer than that, Efren? I think because it was chopped off, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
I honestly don't know. I have to say I dipped in and out of Thor for a while because I didn't like the last run. I picked up Al Ewing's The Immortal Thor, and
Hmm.
his arm was, I can't remember if in the first issue he just grew it back or something using the Odin Force. He
Okay,
certainly fixed his hammer using the Odin Force.
just
Can't remember.
curious.
He got better. He got better. It's
Yeah,
Marvel
man.
Comics. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's
It'll just
Thor.
grow him back. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Avengers Twilight has had some gorgeous covers so far. I've read number one and I loved it. So did I. I like the very ending too, because anybody who's read number one, somebody comes back.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, I am up next, and my pick is the Bloody Dozen. I talked about this
Yeah.
book last month, I believe. This is a series under the title Shrouded College, A Tale of the Shrouded College. It says Bloody Dozen, A Tale of the Shrouded College, number 4. It says 9 terrifying vampires have been freed from the Sun Prison, but for the contract with the Shrouded College to be fulfilled, they must be brought back to safely to Earth, and the deadly bloodsuckers have plans of their own. This is a continuing series written by Charles Soule, and it's like this one's called The Bloody Dozen, but they were books before this, and it's all gonna end, I think, in one big book. That's what I believe is going to happen. The first series, it was like a married couple. They had to go through they were hired by the Shrouded College to do some things for them, and it goes from there. I'm not doing a justice to this storyline, but it's really good.
I remember you talking about it last time, and it sounded really, really interesting and
Yeah.
intriguing. This is all linked to a wider universe, isn't it? The Shrouded
Yes.
College. I've not read any of this yet, Efren.
Yeah.
I'll probably pick this up because it's a mini series. I'll probably pick these up in trade paperback where I can read the entire kind of storyline, I think.
Yeah, I just found this book, obviously by accident, and then I started reading it. I went, "Wow, this is really good!" And it was a continuation to a previous storyline from other books. And I started reading those too. I go, "Well, this is pretty good." So just to see what happens in the future, how he's going to end it all.
Vampires in Space has certainly got us intrigued, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yep. All right, you are up next.
Ooh. Okay, so have you read the first 2 issues of this?
No, I have not.
So I had absolutely no bloody interest in this at all because Sentry for me has been a convoluted character that has just done my head in the past.
Yes.
Because of his backstory, and it's just hard to follow and all the rest of it. And then they've killed him numerous times. He's been ripped in half multiple times. And then they restarted him with an issue 1, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been good old Fuzzy. I can't remember. But someone put on Instagram that the first issue was decent. So I thought I would give it a go, and I found myself actually really enjoying it. It was some interesting twists and turns in it. So yeah, I'm into this at the moment. I'm interested in where the story goes. It's Sentry versus Sentry in this issue. So yeah, this to me is quite interesting. I'm hoping to continue to enjoy it.
I think I skipped over this one because it is the Sentry and the way they just couldn't develop this character properly. But I'm going to give it a try now. And then Fuzzy said he enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm sure someone said, yeah, Fuzzy, and it encouraged us to kind of go and have a little look-see at it. Yeah. And it was good. It was good fun.
Yes, it was me. What would we do without you, Fuzzy? So I just don't know, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, even though you never come on with us live, you are part of every group, every video that we do, man. And
Fuzzy's not an actual person. He's just an algorithm, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's like the Matrix. You know, he's there commenting on everybody's videos.
Yeah, to boost our egos. Okay, I am up next. This is Philadelphia, number 35. This is a cover.
Of course it is, Efren. We couldn't get it through a show without you talking about Rodney Barnes, could we?
Yeah, I just love Philadelphia, and they're bringing in characters from other Image books, and this is I don't even know this
Savage Dragon.
Savage Dragon, and they brought in Spawn previously too. So I was like, wow. I like basically Philadelphia is, if you haven't heard before, I'm sure you have, is when Philadelphia is overrun by vampires. Here we go, the vampires again, but they're the founding fathers, some of them. And so it's a really good storyline. I highly recommend it. So,
not sure what I think of that. That's not Jason Shaw Alexander on the cover, is it?
No, this is cover B by Clayton Crane.
Ah, right. I thought, yeah. I'm not a big Clayton Kane fan, to be honest. Sometimes his artwork's great, but I think I prefer Jason Shaw Alexander's art for Philadelphia. He's got a real distinct kind of gritty style, hasn't he?
Yeah. So this is a splash page, obviously, with Savage Dragon on there. So it's an ongoing series. It's been around for over 2 years now. You know, probably going on 3. You know, it's issue number 35, and he's taking gaps in between, you know, issues. They don't come out always every month.
Efren, you should reach out to Rodney Barnes. I know you've spoke to him before, haven't you?
Yeah.
But from what I understand, I've seen him on Instagram a lot. He's very, very open to doing interviews and things like that. It would be great to talk to him at some point.
Yeah, I have reached out to him and to other artists, you know, to see if they want to come on so we can interview them. But a lot of them haven't replied to my messages. Some of them just don't reply, you know. But if I ever see him at a comic book convention again, I am gonna talk to him and saying, hey, you know, I have a YouTube channel. Would you like to come on? You know, so. But he's my guy. So all right. You're up next.
Oh, okay. Moon Knight. I can't help but say I quite enjoyed the first issue. So this is picking up after the big hoo-ha in Marvel of Moon Knight dying and blah, blah, blah. And then he came back, as he would. And I actually quite enjoyed Moon Knight number 1. The artwork, I'm loving the cover artwork. I like the new costume design. I've never been particularly interested about Moon Knight as a character, to be honest. But this is okay. So I'll probably give this maybe 4 or 5 issues and then decide what I think of it after that. But I like the cover on this as well. So that's why I picked this one.
I mean, he must be a popular Marvel character because they keep on bringing him back.
I don't know. It's very few people you hear talking about Moon Knight as a character.
Yeah.
Saying he's like the favourite character. You know, I know maybe one guy who loves Moon Knight, but other than that, he's not someone that you hear talked about a lot.
No, one of his recent series, not this one, but from a few years back, I was reading it and I got so confused of what the heck was going on. I just stopped reading it. You know, I was like, what is going on here exactly? Is he around? Is he not around? You know, I was like, oh my God. You know. Okay. Let me see here. Got another message from Fuzzy. Simon Kredinsky does the cover for the second arc of Nita Haas' Nightmare book. Okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Simon's a lovely guy as well. I talk to him a lot on Instagram. He's a personal friend of Fuzzy's, as Fuzzy likes to tell. But he, I think, would be up for an interview at some point. He's a very, very cool guy. That's a guy, Efren, who does something epic.
Okay.
Commandment.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Next time I go to a Comic-Con, I'm going to go up to artists and you know, I just say hi to them, but I don't think about our show, you know. So I'm going to go up to them, give them my card. Hey, would you like to come on our channel?
Yeah.
You know, here's my card. So I'm going to do that, you know. Let me see. We have a message here from best friend. Okay. I think I'm up next. So this is not a single issue book. I've bought the other 2 of these books. So Something's Killing the Children Deluxe Edition hardcover slipcase, book number 2. And that's the reason I'm getting it, because I got the first two of them. So I'm going to continue with them. And this is basically Something Is Killing the Children by James Tinian. And this covers books from 21 through 35. It's a hardcover book. I know it's not a single issue, but I bought the first two of them, and I'm going to get this one. And one thing which I didn't think about last year at Comic-Con while he was there, I should have had him sign these books for me.
Yeah.
But the lines were incredibly long, and you just by chance, if they let you in the line, because they would cap it off. And these damn books are heavy.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I do want to get them signed by him.
Yeah. So I've got the first one that came out, Slipcase edition #1. So I will definitely be picking this one up. I've purposefully kept away from Something Is Killing the Children. I read it very much in hardcover format.
Yeah.
So I'm totally lost as to what's happened recently. So I'll pick this one up and definitely read it. Looks good.
Great character. I mean, so like we got a message here from I'm not paying Fuzzy every time he leaves a message, just to let you guys know.
Yeah, Fuzzy, you should get like a 50 pence every time you message or something. Yeah.
That's such a lazy cover, especially for a pricey book. Yeah, it is expensive, you know, but so I get discounts. I use this year the price is basically $70, but I use their service in the United States, and they give 35% off every book.
Wow, that's quite a
So,
chunk.
yeah, it's called Gmart. They're based in Chicago. I've been using them for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And they always give really good discounts, you know, for advanced orders. And so that's why I'm buying this book, because like I said, I have the first two of them. So I just wanted to get this one. And you are up next.
I don't know why I've picked this. This is Symbiote Spider-Man 2099. I love the character. Is it Miguel, I think, of Spider-Man 2099? Yeah. I'm not getting into his books of late. I tried to read his more recent series and didn't really get it. But this is a cross with Venom and things, so I'll give this a go. It's Peter David writing. I love Peter David's work. Yeah. I think some of his previous Hulk work in particular is the best that the Hulk's been, really. So he's returning to write this Symbiote saga. So yeah, this is 2099. Ticks the boxes for me. I will give it a go and see what it's like. And I loved that cover. I thought the cover looked really interesting. I'd like that one in a Virgin, actually. I think that would look very cool.
Yeah, Miguel O'Hara, he was the only surviving character, basically, from 2099.
Yeah,
when that series ran, probably over 20 years ago now. He's an endearing character because he's Spider-Man. You know, one of the Spider-Man. They always seem to hang around, you know.
Yeah.
Got a message here from Fuzzy. They're just mixing every Spider-Man story up now and hoping for the best, basically.
I think you're right, Fuzzy.
So many of them. Yeah. And I am next. Here we go. The reason I picked this, you know, because it's the 10th anniversary of Star Wars Rebels, I believe, and I just love these covers. And this is there's a trial of Lando Calrissian after the events of Dark Droids. Lando is at a crossroads. He basically double-crossed, you know, the rebellion, and now he's going to trial. You know, but I really like this cover, so that's why I picked it. You know, so hopefully it's been a decent read. Star Wars. I still read Star Wars, you know, so just cannot not read it, you know. I especially like the Darth Vader one too, you know. To me, they're a good series, you know. It just brings back fond memories. Very
cool. I like the cover. I do like the cover.
Cool looking covers. I definitely ordered. I don't buy as many comic books monthly. I haven't bought comic books for the last 2 months. I haven't pre-ordered anything. Right. And this month I have, and I ordered these Star Wars ones, you know, for sure, because I really like them. And we have Comics and Tortillas. Hey guys, what's up? What's good? Everything we put on here is good, and you got to buy it right away. Thanks for joining. And you are up next, my friend.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I've said before, I keep away from the X titles these days, although I have started reading some of them more recently again. This one just intrigued us. This is Weapon X-Men. It's a whole host of different variants and versions of Wolverine from across the different multiverse coming together. It could be rubbish, Efren, but it's got the potential to be fun. So you've got your Age of Apocalypse Wolverine there, Old Man Wolverine. You've got a zombie version of Wolverine, I think, there. So yeah, it looks interesting. It basically says original X-Men. In the original X-Men, you saw Phoenix recruit a younger X-Man to fix yet another time-displaced disaster. But now the threat is deadlier than ever, and it's time to call in the X-Men's big gun. He's the best there is at what he does in every universe he does it in. This job is too big for just one of them. So basically, you're getting Wolverines from across the multiverse. I think that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and the woman that's in the back of all these pictures is probably a female version of Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I found that interesting too, man. Marvel really knows what to push. Characters that are always in the forefront. So
yeah,
hopefully it's a good series too. And I did like Old Man Logan when he was around.
yeah. So did I.
Very
So
unique
did I.
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am next. This is Under York #1. It's from Image Comics, and it's written by Sylvain Runberg. It's a miniseries premiere. New York's destiny is written in its death. Allison Walker is a promising young painter in Manhattan, but she has a secret. She's also a witch. She and her family belong to the world of Under York, and mysterious underground New York, where 5 powerful clans of witches have reigned for centuries. I'm not going to read much more after that, but it looks interesting to me, and I like the cover.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first indie book that we've chosen so far this month. Everything has been Marvel, I think, up to now.
We had Philadelphia's Image.
Oh, Philadelphia, yeah, Philadelphia. But this is, so Image Books is always, leading the pack for me. It's just with brand new art. I mean, writers and artists. So it looks cool. So I'm going to give this a try. Definitely.
That one's interesting. I like my kind of my witchcraft and my monsters and things like that. So yeah, that sounds cool. I'll give that one a go.
And you are up next.
Oh, look at that, Duke number 4 of 5. This is brilliant. This is part of the new Skybound Energon universe. Issue 1 was out just recently, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Got us hooked into the whole Action Force G.I. Joe kind of saga again. So yeah, this is just continuing on. Duke, if you're not reading the Transformers books, is an ex-military guy who in the future will be very much associated with Action Force, but he's been set on a mission basically to try and find the Transformers and defeat them, Starscream in particular. So yeah, really interesting series, great artwork.
Yeah,
it's just cool. It's just very cool.
So when you order new books, advanced orders, do you normally just buy one, or if you really think it's going to be a hit, you try to buy the multiple different covers, or just the one cover but multiple of those?
I'm trying to just get one.
Yeah.
But I do, if for some series, it's for Transformers, for example, or Thundercats, I can't help myself and I get multiples of the first issue. If I like the artwork and the style. So for Transformers #1, I've got about 15 to 20 versions of issue 1. For Thundercats, I think I'm up to about 10 now. And it's a slippery slope, Efren. I try to only do that for issue 1s. I wouldn't do that necessarily for like an issue 4 unless I really like the cover.
I mean, yeah, I used to buy a lot of covers of #1s and any issues that I like, but I mean, I have to be the price of comic books just keeps on going up. So that's why that's one of the reasons I kind of stop buying, on a regular basis. I go, dang, it's so expensive, these books. It adds up.
It does, certainly does.
Yeah, it looks like Deadman didn't know Duke was a miniseries, thought it was ongoing.
It's a miniseries, Deadman, but then I would imagine shortly after this finishes, you'll get a G.I. Joe relaunch or a reset, because Duke's a primary character in G.I. Joe. So this is his kind of setting up story, I think, and then following that, you'll get him joining the Joes.
And I am up next. This is Man's Best. I just like these covers. The one on the upper right-hand side, I believe, is by Trish Forster.
Yeah, from Stray Dogs.
Yeah, so that's why I picked. This is Man's Best #1 of 5. It says, homeward bound on an alien planet, Man's Best follows 3 emotional support pets living on the Starship Horizon, a spacecraft searching for a new planet to house a humanity compromised by bad decisions and corporate corruption. But after the ship crashes and their crew is captured, these loyal pets are their owner's only hope. When it comes to animals, man, it just always draws me in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this. And I like the covers too, so it's pretty cool. Hopefully it's a good read.
Yeah, I read this one, the synopsis for this, and it sounded interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give this a go. I like Boom Studios as well. They do some good work.
Yeah. So you may know the answer to this. Is by Deadman. Is Cobra the same then? I guess it believes a limited series.
I think so, Deadman. I haven't had a proper look, but that's my understanding that all of these mini-series will kind of end and combine into an ongoing. Transformers is an ongoing, I think. I don't think that's a mini.
What about, what's that book called? Void?
Void Rivals.
Is that going to be ongoing? That is ongoing so far, right?
It's an ongoing as far as I know. It's taken a hiatus, so there's certainly arcs in it. But I think it's an ongoing.
Yeah. All right, you are up next.
I've talked about this one a fair bit, Efren. This is Feral #1 by Trish Forstner and Tony
Here we
Fleece.
go again. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guys who did Stray Dogs. This just, to me, sounds really interesting. There's some great covers for this. Absolutely amazing homage covers. Again, of horror kind of movie posters and things. Basically, this is about a car full of cats that gets crashed on a motorway or whatever during a rabies outbreak. And the cats have got to kind of make the way home through kind of a nightmarish countryside with rabies-infected animals and things like that. It sounds really, really cool. It sounds And you know, if it's anything like Stray Dogs, there are some really interesting twists and turns in that.
Yes.
So this might not be as straightforward as it sounds. So that's kind of why I'm jumping on it. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, if this book's a hit, you know they're going to do a lot more second and third prints homage covers.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Tons.
Let me see. We got a message here from Fuzzy. I fancy this, but there's a few books out just now with cats and dogs main characters. Yeah, there is. You know, they always draw us in pets. You know, so you look at them. Gosh. Let me see here. We got one from Deadman. I've ordered that one. Cool.
Yeah.
I've ordered this one too. So yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Let's see here. You're next. I think you got the last three. So these are all your favorites. So.
The continuation on of something epic by the gentleman mentioned before, Simon Kretinsky. This is just, I love this story. I love this universe. It's taken a bit of a hiatus between kind of arcs. This is picking back up, new story arc. It's got some phenomenal covers. This guy's artwork is just ridiculously good. He's amazing. I mean, look at that. The duck. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, excited to get back into this. I just think it's amazing. Really amazing.
Yeah, I like the artwork on the front cover of this, you know. But yeah, I hope it's a good read. You know, the first arc was really good, and I got into this book because you recommended it. I wasn't going to read it. You know, I don't look at this storyline. You
know, there's no denying, and it you know, from some people, it might not be their cup of tea because it's not your standard comic. It's not. If I use example of Transformers, you can whip through Transformers in 5 minutes because there's practically no reading to do. Do you know what I mean? It's just art, and it's great. Don't get us wrong, I love it, but you haven't got to invest much time in it. Something epic has got beautiful artwork, but you really need to sit and absorb it and read it. And for some, it's too wordy. I get that, but for me, this will be ideal, I think, as a hardcover or a trade paperback where you can sit and just read the full story, I think.
That's a great point. When I read books now, sometimes I have the TV on the background, and then when I read a book, I just read it so fast I don't really understand what they're saying. So I've told myself, dude, just do one thing at a time and just read a comic book and make sure you fully appreciate it and understand it. You know, I take my time reading books, you know, not rushing through them. Let's see, we got a couple more messages. One from Fuzzy. This is order 2, sticking to just one copy though. I bought every variant of the first arc. I can't do that again. Sure.
You're saying that, Fuzzy, but I don't believe you. I don't believe you. By issue 8 or 9, you'll have bought multiples of some of these books because the artwork is just too sexy not to get some of it.
And we have another message. It's a Spielberg movie just waiting to be made. Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. I think you're up. Yep, you're up again. Yeah, these are yours.
This is just fun. This is just silly fun, Efren. I've never had any interest in the slightest in Elvira.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever read a book. I don't think I've ever read a film, watched a film with her in. She's just never appealed for some reason. And then a while ago, I got reading Elvira in Monsterverse, I think it was, or something like that. Again, it might have been Fuzzy that put us onto that. And I absolutely loved it. The comics, these series are just funny. The little mini series, so you can pick them up individual if you want. This is issue 2 of the Elvira meets Lovecraft. But it makes us giggle all the way through, which is what I guess your comics should do, just light relief, you know. So yeah, I'm loving this series. Excited to see where we'll go from here. And again, these books have got some stonking variant covers to them. Some really interesting covers. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Elvira has been around forever.
Yeah.
She did one shtick and it's hung in there for decades now. I mean, they even had a movie made from Elvira about Elvira. You know, it's like, dang, this woman's been around forever.
I saw she still does some photo covers for these books and things, and she looks cracking for a lady who's been around for a long time.
Shit, if you put makeup on my face, I would look 20 years younger too, man.
Take your glasses off and put a wig on, Efren. You could be
No,
on.
I take my glasses off, you'll see all the wrinkles on my face. That's why I hide them, So we got a message here from Dead Man. Elvira is brilliant. Yeah, she's been around for a long, long time.
Dead Man, I'm loving your little Superman statue there in your little image.
Oh, well, I didn't notice that. That is pretty cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And we have another comment from Fuzzy. Dynamite do some great stuff. Yeah.
They really do. Yeah, they really do. Some great books.
Okay. Nope. No way. Now we're finished with the advanced orders of books that we recommend, and this is not a new segment. We've been doing this for a couple months now. These are just Peter picks one book and I pick one book, which we just said no way I'm going to get this book or even read it. Hopefully, so I think you're up first. Yep.
Oh, come on, just crap, just crap. No, this is. I know Fuzzy, I think, has read the first issue of Jackpot, which is out recently. And I think he said it was all right, actually. But so I might be doing this a disservice. But this is the team up book with her and not Catwoman, Black Cat.
Yeah.
I've got no interest in these characters, and I've got no interest in that art style, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
This just does nothing for me at all. It might be a great story. Some people may love this, but for me, it leaves us cold. It's just not for me at all, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'll be missing this one. I will be missing this one.
Do you or does anybody that's watching the video know how Mary Jane got her powers? I have no idea. They just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I don't remember her.
Was it something to do with the I had the misfortune of reading some of the Spider-Man comics a while ago, and was she pulled into a different dimension for a bit, and then she had a kid with someone else, and
yeah,
I have no idea if that was
probably was that. Yeah. And here we go.
Oh, okay.
Endorsement. Jackpot was dreadful.
Yeah, you took one for the team reading it, Fuzzy.
The cover was good. Team. That's where it ended, though. Oh Lord. Let me steal one more. Okay, so this is. I'm sorry, Peter.
What are you doing?
This I haven't read it yet, but to me is like, Sentry. I go, oh my God, this character. I don't think they're ever going to get him right. So that's why I chose it. Not no way. But I'm kind of pulling back from this now because the way you said it was a good read when your picks for advanced orders. So I think I may change my mind and you can discard this. But it's on the slide, so I had to put it on there. It's something about Sentry. I go, Dad, talk about misuse of a character.
So the interesting thing for this, Efren, I don't want to give away any. Well, that cover in itself is a massive bloody spoiler, to be honest. But basically, the Sentry's powers have been split and picked up by a whole host of different heroes.
Okay.
So it's not one person anymore. And as you might guess from that cover, one of them's maybe not as good as the rest. So the first issue had some good kind of switches in it.
Because I know the Sentry died in comic books gone by. Did they talk about how they bring him back in this series or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And let me see here. We got a comment here from Dead Man. The Superman is from a pewter collection that came out best part of 40 years ago. Dang. Wow. I have that's awesome. I have all the DC ones, but there was a Marvel set that came out at the same time. I was years and years ago. There was a Marvel chess set and I wanted it so bad. I go, this is pretty cool, but I never bought it,
So I've got the Marvel chess set. I've got.
Oh, you do?
It might not be the same one you're talking about. This was by Eagle Moss, I think. Mm-hmm. And you got all the little characters porcelain characters standing on, like the chess piece, like the castle and things like that. But yeah, I've picked that up.
Okay, comic book review. So this is the book. Peter picks one book that he wants to review that he likes to read, and I pick one. And are you ready?
Yeah, sure, mate.
You're up first. Good pick.
Yeah. So we talked about this earlier in the show. This is Avengers Twilight. Alex Ross covers absolutely stunning. Love that cover.
Yeah.
Best way to describe this is it's a kind of an Avengers version of Kingdom Come / Dark Knight Returns kind of thing, set in the future where you've got your main characters of Captain America, Cage, and Daredevil and people like that, who are all basically little old men, and you've got kind of this society that's getting more and more restrictive, more and more authoritarian. You
Yes.
can't take photos of people and all that kind of stuff. And you've got Tony Stark and the Wasp's son, who's basically a little prick, and he's kind of leading some of that. I'm trying to not spoil too much of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this for me had stunning artwork, a really interesting story. Yes, it's a bit samey. It's a bit like, like I say, Kingdom Come and stuff like that. You can see the same kind of themes. But I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved the characterization of the main leads. I loved Steve Rogers, and I'm a big Steve Rogers fan anyway. But I loved his kind of defeated nature in a society that's kind of changed and moved on from him. We get a bit of good action in it, and then we get a bit of a, no, I was going to say surprise. It's not a surprise. I think we knew what was going to be coming at the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. Really would recommend people pick this one up.
What I like about these stories, and this is basically a what if story, I just like that they take away from the regular Marvel norm and they do like a 180. Even for DC books, the ones I'm gravitated more is like different from the normal books that they come out with, So yeah, but I read number 1 and it's a great series, great issue so far. I believe this has just happened on your end, Deadman. The sound has dropped off as soon as my computer, So I can hear Peter clearly, so I must be working on our side. So this one, I read it when I first came out. I went, "Oh my God, not another one of X-Men: Days of Future Past." And there have been other reiterations, but I really, really enjoyed this book. It takes off basically right after Days of Future Past, issues, I believe, 140 and 141 in the X-Men. And it shows what happens to the rest of the characters, and it's very graphic what happens to them. A lot of them do not survive. So I wasn't sure I was going to like this series, and it ended. It was only like 4 issues long, but I really enjoyed it. And what the hell they do to the Angel, I was like, damn, they really did. The way he died, I was like, damn. So I really enjoyed this series more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I love this. I don't think I've read the last issue. I've certainly read 2 or 3 issues of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember really enjoying this one. I thought it was cool. And I liked the fact that it was unpredictable, because I think in issue 1, a whole host of characters get bumped off very, very quickly. So yeah, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. More than I thought I was going to. Like, oh my God, not another one of Days of Future Past, but I quite enjoyed it, Let me see here. We got a message from Fuzzy about your pick. I hope it lasts. I haven't read a good adventure story in a while, and the covers are brilliant. Yeah, covers always suck us in, So
Fuzzy, have you read? Oh God, it was a 2-issue mini-series years and years and years ago. I think it was called Avengers Last Stand, or The Last Avengers Story, or something like that, set in the future. Painted artwork. That's a real good read. That's worth reading now.
I think I read that book. My daughter sometimes says, "Dad, how do you remember all this stuff about Marvel comic books or DC, any type of comic books?" I'm going, I don't know, I just do, just I don't remember everything, but she asked me questions like, "Oh, that's this, that's that." And I go, "Dad, how do you know all this stuff?" I'm going, I don't know. I just do. So I
There's
think
a really cool part in it where, see if it refreshes your memory, Efren, where Quicksilver's running to hit Vision, and Scarlet Witch uses her powers, and it alters the trajectory or something. And so Quicksilver literally runs into Scarlet Witch, who hits the Vision, and she just explodes basically.
And this is the Avengers.
Superb. I think it's called Avengers Last Stand, or the Avengers Last.
I remember that. Wow.
It's 2 issues. It's superb. Really, really nice. Painted art style.
Yeah. So, okay. I think we are on to our next segment. Oh, it's a new segment. So, I'm always thinking of things. Peter and I will always, talk about different things we want to do for our shows. And this is a new segment. And let me bring this up. I created a quick video for it. If I can find it now. I was all ready for it. And here we go. Cool, huh?
Very cool. Very cool.
So I was talking to Peter. I go, why don't we each pick one book that the cover that we have enjoyed? It could be from any era, from golden all the way up to modern. So we each pick one book that we just really liked, and basically these are the cover, the cover that we really enjoyed. So Peter, you are up first. This is a classic one.
Yeah. So this is Silver Surfer number 4. This is just a classic cover. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thor's my man anyway, you know, so I just love that's my favourite kind of rendition of the Thor costume. I'm not a massive Silver Surfer fan, to be honest, but I don't know, there's just something about that cover that jumps. The colours are amazing. I'm lucky enough to have a copy of that one.
Yeah.
In CGC, but it's a low grade. I think it's a 3.0 or a 4.0 or something. So that's a book that, you know, when you talk quite often about upgrading your books and you want to get a higher grade, purely so it presents better. That's a book that I'm probably at some point in the future going to go and get a bigger CGC grading on. I think.
Such a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
I mean, they have, besides Thor and Silver Surfer, they have the Rainbow Bridge, and you see Asgard behind them. And this freaking book only cost 25 cents when it came out. I was like, dang, man. Yeah. Great cover. I think it's by Sal Buscema, I believe, right? The artist, you know. So, but yeah, I have this book also, you know, and I just, wow, just looking at it just brings back a lot of fond memories. Great pick.
Hard book to get in a high grade as well, because it's one of those big square bound books.
Yeah.
So it's quite a chunky book on the spine, you know. But yeah, it's very, very cool. Very cool.
I love this cover. Great pick. And mine is Fantastic Four number 112, Hulk versus Thing. I just like the simplicity of this. It's basically just a black background and just have the Thing and Hulk going at it. And they have one also for the Submariner too. And I really like this cover a lot. So I just like, to me, the Thing would be the hardest character to draw, because you got to draw like little pieces, squares all over his whole body.
Yeah.
Time consuming, you know. Yeah. So I really like this cover, and these are our 2 picks for our newest segment.
I think I've got that one. I think I'm sure I picked that up as a cover buy, because like you say, it's just a classic. So Efren, you collect a lot of comics, same as myself.
Yeah.
When I'm collecting backwards, I tend to go for key first appearances. I don't necessarily buy books just for covers, apart from that Silver Surfer 4. Do you do that? Do you buy older books for cover buys, or do you just go for keys?
Well, I think I just go for cover buys. I really like them, you know, for keys, you know, but I'm trying to sell some of my comic books so I can get the rest of my keys, but I'm just being so lazy putting them on eBay or Instagram. You know, I have a long way to go. You know, I would love the first Thor, Journey into Mystery. That's one of my books. I want the first Iron Man. I want the first Hulk. But those are the keys that I am going for. I don't know if I'm ever going to get them. But I would like to get the rest of the Marvel keys, you know.
Yeah, that's my wish list. But like you say, it's you're talking big money now for some of those books.
Yeah. So I think this is from you, Peter, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I just had a quick Google. That book that Avengers book I was talking about is called the Last Avengers Story. It's 2 issues, but you can get it as a trade paperback now. I think it's got beautiful art in it. Hank Pym, is the main character in it, and Ultron and all the rest of it. It's well worth a read.
Speaking of Hank Pym, he's back.
Yeah.
In a recent Avengers book. Yeah. So anybody that's checking out this video, if you have any favorite covers that you like, you know, leave us a message in the comment section. You know, curious to see what anybody else thinks of great covers. And we're going to be doing this one on a monthly basis too. You know, we're going to pick 2 covers every month. So, and we have Cole Collects. Hey, thank you for showing up, Cole.
Hi, Chris.
We appreciate it. And let's see what's up next. Okay, read of the week. We're at the end almost now. Read of the week for January 31st. This is Peter and I pick one book that we're looking forward to be reading next week for New Comic Book Day. And you're up first, Peter.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of great books coming out next week, but I've picked some of those for another show I do, the Killer Comic Show, so I didn't want to repeat myself. This has got us intrigued, so I've gone for this instead. This is Dead X-Men. I got back onto X-Men, regrettably, a couple of months ago with the Hellfire Gala thing, and they bumped off a load of X-Men in that book, and they bumped off some of my favourites, in particular Cannonball, who was one of my all-time favourite X-Men, and you knew they weren't dead. Do you know what I mean? It was the usual X-Men rubbish, but now they've got this new series out. Looks like Cannonball is going to be front and centre in that, so I'll give this a go. I'll read it and see what it's like. But this is basically when the world turns against Krakoa, these 5 mutants lost their lives, but their mission as X-Men is just getting started. To preserve Xavier's dream, they must accomplish the impossible or die trying again. So yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a just because it's Cannonball.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to bring him back, because they can't do that. They can't bring him back because Krakoa was gone basically.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I think the character on the right hand side, is that Jubilee? I mean, she has those kind of powers, so
I can't remember if it was Jubilee or if it was Dazzler.
that's what I'm thinking too. Dazzler, yeah.
Yeah, can't
I wonder who the
remember.
character in the back is. I thought it was Magic, but I don't think she's around still.
She's
So I'm not
around
sure.
still. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
magic. Yeah,
Maybe it's Paige Guthrie,
yeah, maybe,
Cannonball's sister.
maybe.
Okay.
So this is, I can't remember who each of them are from, but this is basically in the Hellfire Gala book. You got to, before that, you voted for your new X-Men team or whatever, and this was going to be the new X-Men team.
Oh, yes.
And then they all got killed. A Sentinel, I think, burst through the ceiling and killed them all or something. But I can't remember who they were now. I can't remember which characters they were, other than Cannonball, like I say.
When the X-Men Gala, when the Sentinels came in and killed everybody, when they killed Jean Grey, I'm going, not again. Leave this character alone. How many times do you have to make her die? But she has her own miniseries right now.
Yeah.
So somehow she's still around, so. And my pick, and Peter, I picked this book because you recommended it to me. I'm surprised you didn't choose this one. And I love this storyline.
Yes.
The Devil That Wears on My Face by David Pedpose and Alex Cormack.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When you told me read this book, I started reading. I went, this is a great storyline. This is framed for murder by the demonic legion. Father Vieri must survive a deadly chase through the streets of Rome in order to escape the Inquisition. But as he possesses Vieri's body, Legion unveils terrifying new ways to spread his corruption across the Vatican. Basically, this priest goes up to perform an exorcism, but the demon that's inside the person switches bodies with the priest, and all heck, ensues after that. So it's been a great story. I really have enjoyed it.
Brilliant story and amazing artwork by Alex, who's a lovely, lovely guy and supports us on some of the shows we do. So yeah, well worth a read, that one.
So yeah, I've been really enjoying this series. And if you know me, scary movies, I'm always kind of iffy about it, but reading them, for some reason, I enjoy it quite more.
Yeah.
So it's been a great storyline. I really enjoy this one, The Devil That Wears My Face. And we are done, Peter. That was quick. We're almost, God, man, we talked so much. I thought it'd be over an hour. It's only like 47 minutes and counting. But this is, like I said, anybody who's joined us, is our monthly show where we do advanced orders. And let's look at some of the comments. Let me see here. Fuzzy, bloody X-Men again. What? They've done that before?
Fuzzy loves a bit of X-Men, man.
I'm currently reading Hush for the first time. God, Hush, I forgot what that's. I read that, but such a long time ago. Great covers too by Jim Lee.
Yeah. It's a good read. It's a good, interesting read. Yeah.
Sounds like an A24 movie. You know what he means by that?
Yeah. It's a production company that do a lot of horror movies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep. And we have one here from Fuzzy. Looking forward to Beneath the Trees, number 3. I think I've been reading that storyline.
Have you not read that one, Efren?
I think I have.
It's
I'm
the
not
one
sure.
it's like teddy bears and animals and things, and one of them is a serial killer.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, it's true. It's superb. Well worth a read.
So, Peter, tell us where you're going to be in less than 2 hours.
Well. So at 9 o'clock, go check it out over on One Good Scare Show. And we're going to be doing our live show where we're just talking about the recent horror news, a bit of comic book review, horror comics that is, and other bits and bobs, all horror related.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's over on One Good Scare Show later on tonight.
And we have one final comment here from Cocolex. Picked up a load of hardback books recently. Loving it. Wow. Yeah. I've never really gotten into, picking up softcover, or hardcover books. I have all of them in. I just like reading them when they come out.
I love a good hardback. I don't know why. I love the kind of the larger scale format. And as I've said many times, I'm of an age now, Efren, where I cannot be chewed with waiting a month between comics. I like to read a complete story. Do you know what I mean? Or at least a good chunk of a story. I tend to retain it better like that, I think.
We have a message here from Philly's Fiction. Eating Chaps can't stay dropping in and just dropping in. Hello, hope you all are well. We're just ending. So if you want to catch the rewind, please do. I got one more from Pleasure Guys from Fuzzy. And we are done, Peter. Next month, we are going to be on Peter's channel doing this whole thing all over again where we pick advanced orders. And these will be books that we can order in February and that we can pick them up in April.
April's books. Yeah.
And that is it, everybody. Take care and see you soon. We'll see Peter in 2 hours, but you'll see me in about a month or so. Everybody, take care.
Bye.